Somewhere around 100,000 years ago, a small group of humans looked at the horizon, had no map, no compass, no idea what was over there, and decided to go anyway, repeatedly, for tens of thousands of years, until their descendants had covered basically the entire planet, including several places that are, by any reasonable definition, extremely inconvenient to reach. No ships with engines, no roads, no GPS cheerfully recalculating every time someone wandered off course. Just legs, curiosity, and an apparently bottomless tolerance for walking into the unknown. So how exactly did a species with no maps manage to accidentally colonize the entire globe? The short answer is slowly, opportunistically, and with a lot more competence than wandering aimlessly would suggest. Let's clear up the biggest misunderstanding first. This wasn't some grand, coordinated expedition with a 5-year plan and a flag to plant. Human expansion across the planet happened gradually, generation by generation, as small groups pushed slightly further than the last group had, usually while following something practical. Herds of animals, coastlines, rivers, the completely reasonable desire to not run out of food. Before we go further, subscribe to Passpoint because the next part involves boats, and somehow that's even more impressive than it sounds. Africa is where the story begins, and archaeological and genetic evidence both point to early Homo sapiens gradually expanding outward from there, with movements into other regions occurring in multiple waves over an extended period rather than one clean single exit. Coastlines turned out to be surprisingly excellent travel routes, offering fresh water, shellfish, fish, and a built-in navigation strategy that didn't require understanding astronomy. Just keep the ocean on one side and walk. Then things get considerably more impressive because at some point, humans crossed open water on purpose. Evidence from sites in places like Australia suggests that humans arrived by sea at least 65,000 years ago, requiring some form of watercraft capable of crossing significant stretches of open ocean, even without sails, metal tools, or, presumably, much reassurance that this was a good idea. Think about that for a moment. No prior example to learn from, no emergency contact on the other side, just the accumulated confidence of a species that had apparently decided drowning was an acceptable risk if it meant finding out what was over there. Misconception, though nobody labeled it that at the time, that early humans only migrated when forced by climate disaster or starvation. Sometimes that's true, but evidence increasingly suggests curiosity, resource opportunities, and social dynamics like population growth or group splits played major roles too. Sometimes people left because the neighbors were fine, but a nicer valley was rumored to be one ridge over. If you're enjoying this deeply relatable impulse to just see what's over the next hill, subscribe to Passpoint because the next stretch involves ice and not the fun kind. Ice ages complicate travel in ways you'd expect, freezing rivers, burying land under glaciers, making entire regions brutally inhospitable. But they also did something unexpected. They occasionally opened doors. During periods of lower sea level, land bridges emerged that don't exist today. The most famous example connected Siberia to Alaska, a region researchers call Beringia, allowing groups to walk, not sail, into an entirely new continent that had never seen a human being before. Genetic and archaeological evidence suggests humans reached the Americas by at least around 15,000 years ago, and possibly earlier depending on which contested sites you ask an archaeologist about, a topic that can turn a friendly academic conference into something closer to a courtroom drama. Once in the Americas, humans spread with startling speed, reaching the southern tip of South America within a few thousand years, an almost absurd pace when you remember they were doing this on foot through completely unfamiliar terrain with zero advanced scouting reports. None of this happened because ancient humans were fearless. Fear is expensive, evolutionarily speaking, and completely fearless individuals tend not to survive long enough to reproduce. What they had instead was adaptability. The ability to read new landscapes, track unfamiliar animals, identify edible plants they'd never seen before, and build shelter from whatever material happened to be lying around, whether that meant palm leaves, snow, or, in a pinch, mammoth bones. Social knowledge mattered enormously too. Groups carried accumulated survival information with them, passed down, argued over, and adjusted based on wherever they ended up. A skill set built for a savanna doesn't automatically work in a rainforest or an Arctic coastline, so groups had to continuously relearn, adapt, and occasionally fail badly enough to teach the next generation what not to do. Put all of this together, and human migration stops looking like a single heroic journey and starts looking like an enormous multi-generational relay race, run without a finish line, without a map, and without anyone fully appreciating that their descendants would eventually be doing this for sport in expensive hiking boots. Which brings us back to that original image. No map, no compass, no idea what was over there. What humans actually had was curiosity relentless enough to override uncertainty, and just enough adaptability to survive the consequences of that curiosity most of the time. We didn't conquer the planet through some master plan. We just kept walking toward the horizon, generation after generation, until there was nowhere left to walk to. If this changed the way you think about your own daily commute, subscribe to Passpoint. Somewhere in your DNA is someone who once looked at an entire ocean and thought, yeah, we can probably handle that.